Welcome, kings and queens, to another episode of Unapologetic, your number one podcast. This is the show where kings and queens tell their legacies and on. So get ready for the gems to drop and pull up to the table because we're ready. Welcome, my people. We're back on another great episode of Unapologetic, your number one podcast. We are in the infamous studio, ZGE Studios, the one and only. Thank you all for joining us back here yet again. 2023 has been great. It's been very eventful. And it's going to get even more because we have a very special guest on the show today. Can you please welcome WoodTV-8 very own, the beautiful Gabrielle Phifer. How are you, girl?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I couldn't be, I got my health, so I can't complain.
You know, everything that has been going on, yes, it is definitely good to be thankful for.
Yes, because I've been watching the news, man. Geez, I applaud you for being able to keep up with the movement of the world as it's happening, because there's so much going on at one time, and you being a journalist and a professional anchor I can only imagine like the work schedule of being called, or can't even sit down, have a lunch break because something big just popped up.
I know. Yeah, we've been covering the shooting that happened at MSU, and so my producer texted me like maybe 30 minutes ago. I was like, "Hey, can you come in at 2:30?" With my schedule, I typically get in at 3:30 in the morning, and work till maybe 12:30 or so.
12:30 at night?
No, in the afternoon. So I go at 3:30 and work maybe noon, 12:30. It kind of depends, but
Right.
yeah, it is not easy, and a lot of people look at the news and they're just like, "Oh, it's so bad, depressing," which we know that, but it's a job that we have to do just to inform people, and so. I think that even through tragedy, it's, we are like almost honored to be able to tell people stories and inform, people of what's going on. Like a lot of people here have kids and, that go to MSU in East Lansing. So, it's important for us to kind of let the public know, like,
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. It's very important. I mean, without the news, we probably wouldn't know half of what's going on our planet. So, especially just down the street or in our same county or same state. So, yeah, I thank you for that. However, I want to know what brought you to becoming a news anchor, like a journalist, because that's not something that, most people just reach out and want to do, because you got to be on camera, you got to do research, you got to, it's an ever growing, developing type of mindset and setting that you have to be involved in. So what made you start and when?
So I'm a reporter, but I love how you say news anchor because we are speaking that into existence.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Yes, but so it really started for me back when I was younger. I used to love watching Good Morning America. So I was Robert Roberts. Yes, like that was
okay.
There were just certain routines that I had as a kid, just with my mom. So we would wake up, get ready for school. Good Morning America would be on, and like I would be watching, Roberts. Obviously a huge fan And then when I would come home from school and like sports activities, because I was an athlete, I would come home and watch the Oprah Winfrey Show.
Oh yeah, okay. All right.
At the
That's a
time,
good person to follow too.
yes. At the time, I was really interested in sports too. So like I really wanted to get into like sports reporting. Um, but I was also kind of like interested in like morning news. Like I wanted to be that person who, you saw on your TV giving you your news, helping you get throughout your day with like a smile. You know what I mean? And so I mean it's been a dream since I was a kid. Sometimes when you have dreams as a kid, for some people, it's not always reality that you get to live that out.
No, no.
I
And you
just,
being a reporter is amazing. It's
yeah,
I, it's a I know it has to be a challenge to go through uh the how can I put it, the levels or stages to get where you are now. Not just, one having a passion as a little girl, but now that you are in this position, like what happened when you finally got the opportunity to pursue this career?
it was not easy, I will say. So I'm from Arkansas, so majority of us have this Southern accent, which for me, like I always knew that like I wasn't gonna stay in Arkansas. Like anybody could tell you that I would be like signing my autograph for people.
Really?
Like my bonus,
Okay.
like I have like autographs from like me being maybe 10, 11, 12. Like I was young, like really,
That's what's up.
like I had the dream. I just didn't know like
Yeah.
I just believed it. Like I knew it was gonna happen. Um, but yeah, it was a journey just trying to get to where I am. I remember just going to different conferences and you have to make like a video reel just kind of showing, the work that you do, your on camera presence, all that. And
Oh,
so
really?
yeah, so the biggest thing for me at the time was my voice. I had a really deep Southern accent.
Hell yeah, you from Arkansas. What part of Arkansas are you from?
So Crosset, Crossett. That's my hometown.
Okay, cross it.
Which
I
is
never heard of that one. Is it
no,
close to Little Rock or?
it's like 2 hours from Little Rock,
Okay.
but if you think of like Louisiana, like we're maybe 30 minutes from the Louisiana border, so we're further south.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, there were people telling me like, you'll never get in news. I heard those stories um, frequently, but I still kept going. Even when I graduated undergrad, I was looking for jobs, could not get a job. Ended up going to grad school, and out of grad school, I had like three or four offers maybe out the gate. So like I went from
Wow.
no interest to me trying to decide like, oh my God, like which job am I gonna take? You know what I mean?
Right. And
Um,
what made that come about? Was it because you were in grad school or was it?
yeah, and like I think the experience too, like I had the experience and like internships, but I really
Oh,
didn't get um that experience like in school. It was almost like it came late, but I also feel like I'm not shy, but I'm shy. Um and
okay. I think
yeah,
I
it's
get
kind of hard to explain. Like people
it.
like, oh my God, you're so funny. Like, you are this and this and that. And I am, but there's a part of me that's really reserved too. But yeah, I don't know. It just depends.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, for me, it was the experience. Like I got so much experience. I went to Northwestern in Chicago for grad school. So I mean, went to Washington D.C. And had like an internship there. Went to South Africa, and I mean, everybody knows like Northwestern when they think of the Medill School of Journalism, like
Right. Yeah.
the
That,
best.
that's the place.
Yes. And so yeah, from there I got some, entry level position reporter positions. And yeah, eventually that led me to Grand Rapids. So
So from South Africa, you came back to the States and moved straight to Michigan?
yeah, so I mean, when I was in South Africa, it was like it was kind of like a study abroad kind of trip. So it was like a week that we were gone. It was a few of us that went, and we interviewed some of the college students there, and we're just talking about just the political climate, especially kind of as it relates to the Nelson Mandela era. So
Oh
yeah,
wow. So you covered that's Nelson Mandela as a history.
you're right. As history, yes.
Man.
So yeah, it was a really great experience. Really glad I did it. You know,
Yeah, there's not that many people that can stay like I went to South Africa, the motherland. Like I want to go to Africa. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my dream goals. As an individual, I want to go. I would wish I could be in Africa right now.
yeah, yeah. We were in Johannesburg. So it was
Okay,
uh, I mean, just a really great experience overall. So
that's what's up.
being in DC and just the access that we were given, it was again like really what helped me get my start. I think everybody has different journeys. Like some people say, well, do you have to go to grad school? I mean, you don't, but that's the journey that um was for me. So
Right. And that's understandable because I feel like you would want to get the most out of any situation. Of course, you're gonna have to put a little more effort and work into it, but you already did it this far. So having another, what, 3 to 4 years of sharpening that
a
tool.
year. And I think that was the thing. It's like grad literally I went maybe I think it was August 2017, and I was done that next year in September. So
Wow.
it was just a year.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Yeah, yeah. It's no excuse. Yeah.
it wasn't like it took me too far off the journey. I feel like had I not gone, who knows where I would be. Like I probably even wouldn't still be in news. Because sometimes it can be a really hard business to get into. And like I said, the journey worked out. Like once I finished grad school, I had like 3 or 4 different job offers, but I ended up taking the one back home.
Okay.
So I was able to go back home, stayed with my mom and dad because that's where the market was, and saved up money. And when I came to Grand Rapids, uh, I feel like I was prepared, financially
Right.
and
Of
so
course, it's a city. You have to figure out how to move in the city ASAP.
definitely.
Man. So what when you were in grad school, were you a part of any sororities or
Yeah, so I undergrad, um, I pledged Alpha Kappa Alpha,
okay,
incorporated.
that's what's up.
Yeah, so that was in 2013. So it'll be 10 years in November, actually.
Okay.
And so I am. connected with the chapter that is here.
I was
Theta
about
Chi.
to ask you that. Do you actually go to speak at some of the meetings or whatnot?
With my schedule, it's really hard to go to some of the meetings and events. But we did have an event last night, just celebrating Founders Day. It's celebrating 115 years this year. And so
Wow,
we had a program last night actually. And so it was a great turnout.
that's
And
what's up.
yeah, I just talked about the history. I was on the committee. And so, yeah, I'm hoping this year I'll get to be a little bit more active, but like with the schedule, I try not to do like so many things after a certain time.
Right. Got to get you some rest.
Yeah,
That's
and
important.
sometimes they have meetings and events like I'm at work, so it's hard to make it work. But like whenever like there were sorors that I saw like last night who I don't know, but they like treat me as if they know me. Like
Sisterhood.
yeah,
Okay.
it's that sisterhood, which I absolutely love. Like I do not take that for granted. I feel like everywhere that I've gone, I've always met a soror who has been just super helpful to me. And so I am definitely thankful for the ladies of Theta Chi Omega. So yeah,
Girl, congratulations. But that's what I when I thought about it, I'm like, oh, she's a sorority sister. I was like, oh man. Because a lot of people don't play I met a lot of people that were actually professionals, professional women, excuse me. And each one has been a sorority sister. And I always wonder, like, what is it about a sorority that brings in these great and professional minds? And and I see it now. That it's a sisterhood. It's not like a special club, so to speak. In my opinion, it's an actual family,
oh
and
yeah,
it travels with you wherever you go. I don't care if you're overseas; it actually follows you. And
yeah.
that's it's just amazing to hear.
We are in 12 like at least 12 countries. So
Right? It's crazy.
it's
But with to fast forward, okay, I got excited about that one. Uh, when did you start your journey with Wood TV 8?
I came here in September of 2021.
Oh, okay.
I've been here a little over a year now.
Wow. I
Yeah,
thought it was longer. I don't know why I thought it was longer than that.
no, people ask me all the time, what brought you to Grand Rapids? I'm like, I don't know. It was really just a job because I didn't know anyone here.
Right.
I have any family here. The closest family I have is in Chicago. I do have some family in Ohio, but like no like local ties.
Wow.
So I really took a leap and I don't think I really realized like how much of a jump that was until my parents and my brother, came with me. And once they left, it was like,
What I'm gonna do.
yeah, because I'm
I
so
can
close.
see it.
I'm like, we are extremely close. My siblings are like best friends. My mom and dad are like in their 70s. And for me, just living with them over the past 3 years, you see just things differently. So like, I think of them as like my kids. And so um, like me just being me, like I'm the mom of the group. So like
Yeah, you got that mom that's coming from you
yeah,
too.
I just want my family to be okay. And I'm not there.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
understandable. Family is important. Family
very
is highly important. I feel like that right there is a big push for a lot of things in the world today, for whoever that has that type of support. Because if you take that foundation away, people crack mentally. You know what I'm saying? So that's a beautiful thing that you have that type of support.
yeah, trust me, I have cracked. I have woo. Yeah, it's really been a journey being here. I think it's been a good journey. There's, we would define it as bad, but it all builds character. And so, from just the job to just everything that happens outside of that professionally,
Right.
it's, I think I am just learning more about myself, which is good.
I mean, especially that you moved to a whole different city that you don't know any person, and then you took a very important, job because I've seen you report, especially during the winter months, like this past winter, I couldn't have done it. I have,
Blizzard
it was
coverage.
crazy, man. Because I'm like, I know she freezing, and how do you feel when you're getting ready to go on air? Like, can you give us a routine that you do? Because I know there's other young people out there, male and female, that possibly have that same dream to be in the position that you are in. So what would you give them to help them out?
I think a lot of it just comes with doing it every day because when I got here, um, I was very nervous.
Yeah.
I think it was all just very new for me.
Okay. Yeah.
The job itself was the same, kind of. Like I honestly, I was on air or maybe like in studio more here than I was back at my last station because of um where I worked, I was a bureau reporter, so like I wasn't in the main station every day. And so there were just some different things that I had to get used to. I don't really have a routine per se.
Oh, really?
Um, no, I wake up in the morning, I get dressed, I go to work, I write my scripts for the shows, and yeah, it you know
Wow. You see,
it's
you make it sound very simple. But you know what I'm saying? You make it sound like it's a walk in the park, but deep down inside my head, it's like it's not that simple.
it's not
It's a finesse. You gotta finesse something.
even working on deadlines, like I think that that is difficult within itself. Trying to gather content, trying to make sure that you have your scripts, your words, your thoughts together. I think I just try not to panic because
Mm.
when you panic, that shows on air. And so I think with everything I do, I just want to be authentic.
That's
Um,
what's up.
that's the main thing. So I don't have a routine. I mean, like the only thing I can think of is me coming into, going to sit at my desk and turning my space heater on. Like